I just had an absolute heart attack. This is clearly not a eucalyptus. There's a good girlie in all the weeds. Yeah. Alrighty, so I am in the polybunnel because I've got some potting on to do, and you might be thinking, oh my god, where did all our plants go? Those shelves are looking really empty. The thing is, I was told it was going to rain today and it looked like it was going to rain all day according to my weather app on Google, so I put all of my plants outside to have a nice drink, and did it rain? Did it help? So I'm going to bring them all back in again, but after I've given them all water. So I'm going to do that, and then I will give you a plant tour. But first, I want you to have a look at this. I don't think I did it on camera, but I sewed some billy buttons for cut flowers, and then eucalyptus. This is clearly not a eucalyptus. This is, I think, some sort of brassica. The leaves are yellowing a little bit because they've been in here a long while, but I'm just wondering if anyone knows what sort of brassica they might be. They've got sort of purple veining on the underside of their leaves. I haven't sewn anything like that. The only brassicas I have sewn are the garlic kale, which look like this if you put them next to them. Similar, but not quite the same, and they don't have the purple veining. So I don't know if the seeds have come up in the compost, or I don't know, but I've not bought any seeds of plants that look like this. I emailed Chiltern Seeds, which is where I got the eucalyptus seeds from, and asked if there might have been a mix-up, and they said nope, definitely not. And actually, if you look down here, there's some little baby seedlings coming up, and I think they might be the eucalyptus, because if you have a little gentle rub on the leaves, and yeah, that's eucalyptus. So I have managed to grow some, but I've also grown some mystery brassicas. So I'm going to pot these on, give the eucalyptus a bit more space, and just because I want to see what these are. But any ideas, pop them in the comments, please. Right, so I'm going to pop these habaneros on first because they're not looking very happy, and these, I've not seen this before. I don't know if a pest has got them because there's a little bit of a nibble there, but these leaves are not looking their best. So I'm going to pop them into some bigger pots to get them some more nutrients. So, and then I can use these pots for the mystery brassicas. That's the hope. Yeah, these are looking all right. I'm quite happy with these. A bit smaller than I'd like at this stage. Hopefully they'll catch up. And obviously, someone in a very loud motorbike's just decided to go past. Always happens when I'm filming. There's one. Hopefully this tape will just keep it stick and transfer over. Lovely. All right, I'll do the same again with the rest of them. I just had an absolute heart attack. Looked outside and I could see Molly eating something green next to all my plants. But she's being a good girl and eating the weeds. I pulled a load of bindweed out of the borders, so she's eating that. Not my nice plants. Good girl, animals. There's a good girlie in all the weeds. Yeah. Right, so that's the habaneros done. And mystery brassica's done. And I thought actually I'll start potting up the eucalyptus as well, because the soil was looking like it was getting a bit tired. So the teeny tiny eucalyptuses. The smell is gorgeous though, so it's definitely eucalyptus. So yeah, that's good. Alrighty, it is a few days later because I went in for my dinner and then I forgot all about the plant tour, but I promised a tour, and so you're going to get one. So we're starting outside because I'm starting to move a fair bit outside now. I've planted out those poor sweet peas that were looking very yellow and sad, and they are absolutely thriving in this box. I don't think these canes are going to be tall enough, so I need to find a trellis to support them, but for now they're doing okay with the canes. In front I've got some mixed varieties of calendula. Just to the right here is my bulbs. My bulb lasagna has gone over, so I'm going to clear the bulbs out, store them till later on this year and plant them in the front garden, and then I'm going to put my apricot tree in this pot. So moving along, these are my purchases from Malvern. So I have 2 salvias. I cannot remember the variety, but look at those beautiful blue flowers. They are absolutely gorgeous. Do we have the variety on them? No, we do not. Nope, no variety, but they are stunning. One of these plants is for me. Another is for my friend Kath, who wasn't able to come to Malvern. So Kath, if you are watching, I am holding your salvia hostage. You need to come and visit me, please. And then I have a hosta. I've never had a hosta before. I've never grown them. I know slugs love them. So far, I have managed to protect it. To be honest, I think it's been too hot and dry for slugs. This is going to be going up the allotment as well. And then I have my apricot tree. This is a patio variety, and it is flavorcot. So now the bulbs have gone over, I'll be able to pot this up. Not expecting much from it this year, but hopefully in coming years I'll have a nice little apricot harvest come the summer. So before we go into the poney bun, I want to show you what's happening in the shady area outside. So these, look at these babies. These are my single seed potato challenge plants. So I've got 2 in that one, 1 in this one, 1 in this one, and a little one playing catch up there. So 5 plants so far, and to me they're looking quite happy, so that's good. So I need to figure out what to do with them next. I think I'm going to grow them in compost bags, empty compost bags, turned inside out, placed in buckets for support. Then I can roll the bag up and fill it as they grow. That's the plan so far. Sorry, I've got a little bit of hay fever, so I'm a bit sniffy. Then I've got some perennial greens. Now, one of these is a Taunton Dean kale, and the other one is a purple collard. I'm assuming this is the purple collard because it's more purple. Yesterday I came out and the kale was absolutely covered in caterpillars, so it's looking very holy and very sad at the moment. I was hoping to get this out on the allotment this weekend, but I think I might give it a bit more time to recover before I do. I have bought some sort of drawstring mesh bags to put over them to protect them, because I think they're just still a little bit too small to be able to stand on their own. So that's the plan for those. I've been trying to get hold of more perennial veg to put up the allotment, just because it's one of those sort of one and done type things, isn't it? And as long as you maintain it, it'll just keep going. So that's the plan. Here we go, the polybundle. Firstly, these strawberries, oh my goodness, they have been stunning. That one is almost ready. It's just not quite, I mean, I could, but honestly, coming out here and picking strawberries still warm from the polytunnel, they are the best tasting strawberries. Just, they don't even compare to what you get in the shops. They're just, oh, yum. Not many. I mean, we're getting there. I mean, there are only a few plants in each of the boxes here, but I think next year I'm going to do more strawberries in the polytunnel and fewer up the allotment, just because it's been a pain to keep on top of the watering, to be honest. Right, let's start down here. So this is like the cooler, shadier-ish part of the polytunnel. So down here I've got calendula, which are ready to go out into the allotment actually once I've got the space sorted. They're looking good. So I've got, what have I got? Candyman, Pink Surprise, and Zeolites. So lots of different pinky apricot-y colours. I've then got Scabious Sternkugel. These are some of the first seeds I planted this year. So I'm going to move these out so you can see this is just more calendula. I love calendula. Yeah, Scabious Sternkugel. So a few of those. And then the garlic kale, which I showed earlier, along with the mystery brassicas. So down here is my pepper collection. So we've got Jalapenos, only 2 of those because only 2 of my seeds germinated. Bit sad, but that's okay. We've got King of the North peppers, which are those sort of kind of big juicy peppers that you get in the shops. Apparently this variety does pretty well in the UK. Sweet banana peppers, so again, just normal sort of sweet peppers, but the pointy ones. Anaheim chilies, which are kind of your regular chilies that you get in the shop. And Chihuahua Negro chilies, so those are sort of a drying chipotle chili. And then on the end, we've got the Greek gigantes, which I sowed, about 2 weeks ago. So they're doing well. And onto this shelf, we've got some mystery chilies that I forgot to label. So I'm just keeping hold of them to see what happens, to be honest. I don't know what they are, but next door's dog's off on one. And then a random tomato. That's a Gormanson. We've got the Cosmos apricot lemonade. I think they're now big enough for me to pinch out the tops and to get them sort of going a bit bushier. And they'll be ready to go into the allotment very, very soon. Socrates cucumbers. I think these are the small pickling ones. I've got one regular variety and one pickling variety. I think Socrates is the smaller one. Sweet corn, which I sowed as part of my Three Sisters planting video. That's coming on quite nicely. Not a great germination rate, if I'm honest. So there should be 2 in every sort of slot here. So I am expecting 18, and so far I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So yeah, a third so far. Not great, but there's still time, I guess. I'm just gonna wait and see. And then these are the habaneros I've just potted up, so I'm hoping they'll be a bit happier in the larger pots. Moving on up, we've got the start of my tomato collection. So I've got some tigerellas, some Gormansons. These were bought as started plants. I saw them online and couldn't resist. They're sort of like a heart-shaped pink variety. Shimmer, again, bought as a started plant. So I've got 3 of those. And then pink tiger as well. And up on the top, I've got my Costa Violette beans, which are looking very happy and healthy. I've got habanero chili and my musselburgh leeks. And then on the last shelf, we've got the rest of my tomato collection. So these are mostly cherries, I think, looking at them. They're all cherries. So we've got the cherry galena, black cherry, Brad's atomic grape, a house dwarf cherry tomatoes. These will be little tiny plants, which I'm quite excited about. And looking through the thing here, chocolate vine cherries. Over to the sweet corns. This is the glass gem. Again, not a brilliant germination rate. I think I put 2 or 3 in each of these 2. So yeah, never mind. Some more peppers. These are both King of the North, so I need to move those down. Actually, they're getting a bit tall. I've got my Blue Soleil's leeks, which are looking nice. And then these are zinnias. These are just some mixed zinnias. So I need to pot these on really to give them a bit more room. Moving down, I did have some spring onions come up. It's a bit patchy, but a few have come up. It took ages. So I planted these on the 5th of April. It is now the 16th of May. So yeah, that took a while. I don't know if that's normal with onions, but a bit disappointing. These are sunflowers. So I've got a dwarf sunflower and Floristan, which I think is sort of like a ruby red variety. These need potting on. And at the front, I've got, these were a present. Yes, that name is correct. Just because of the shape of the fruit, apparently. So looking forward to those. What else have we got? So more sweet corn, the glass gem again, a bit more. These look a bit more sort of successful on germination. Nothing from my pumpkins yet. So these have been in for 2 weeks. Absolutely nothing. As I did say at the time, they are old seed. So they may or may not germinate. If not, I'm not too worried because I've got lots of other squash that I can plant in the Three Sisters sort of planting area. So that's fine. And then talking of squash, these are my I've got two lots of courgette. I've got green bush and Romanesco. Green bush is your normal kind of green courgette. Romanesco is the stripy one. And then I have one butternut squash that germinated. So, and then over here I've got more cosmos. Again, I need to pot these on. They're looking a bit crowded. Zinnia envy and some cactus dahlia. And again, this is supposed to be penstemon and dahlias, and I think that might be a penstemon. The rest look like the mystery brassica again. So I don't know where these seeds are coming from. I think I'm just going to chuck these. But like, where have they come from? I haven't bought any seeds that look like this, and certainly haven't sown anything. So very, very strange. Moving down, I've got a couple more squash. So that's a pink banana squash. This is another butternut squash that my chiropractor gave me in exchange for some watermelon plants. So thanks, Katerina. And then I've got these are the mystery brassicas I've just potted up. And then the eucalyptus, which I potted on as well because they were looking a bit sad. And borlotti beans, which I am planning to take up to the allotment this afternoon because they're looking pretty happy. Along with the borlotti beans, I'm going to be planting out the mashed potato squash underneath. So this isn't the Three Sisters planting method. This is going to be going along some bean pole structures with the squash planted underneath. Nearly at the end now, I promise. We've got the sugar baby watermelons, very cute and very tiny. Cucumber polan, which I think is your regular cucumber, and more mystery brassicas. And then last but not least, underneath we've got some dahlias, which have mostly all come up. Even the last one at the back here, which I didn't think was going to do anything, has started to get a little bit of green on it. So it looks like we're going to be all systems go. So yeah, that's how we're looking at the moment. Oh, hang on, just behind me here as well, I've got the nasturtiums and the cornflowers that I sowed for my plant superheroes. Those are going up the allotment today as well. They are desperate to get in the ground. Look at them, the poor things. I have already put a few up, which is why this is looking like a bit of a messy tray. The tagetes that I planted here, not a single one came up. Oh, hello, spider. Not a single one came up. So I have bought another packet of seeds and I'm going to try again because I really, really want to try them out. This time I've bought Tagete minuta, which is definitely a type that deters bindweed. So we'll see how that goes. I couldn't resist. That strawberry looked too good. Oh my goodness. There is nothing better than eating freshly picked fruit that you have grown yourself, I swear. So that's how things are looking in here at the moment. Very full, very abundant, and very close to being put out on the allotment, which means I need to pull my finger out and prep some beds. So I will see you there. And by the power of editing, here we are, back up at the plot. And you can probably already see from behind me that things are looking a little bit different from the last time we saw it. So if you watched my previous video, you will have seen that I had to take a couple of weeks away due to illness and injury. Things got a little bit out of hand and I wasn't very happy about it. But I have had my strop and now I'm trying to be more solutions focused. Part of that focus meant that I did an awful lot of work off camera because one of the challenges of being a gardening YouTube channel is that things take twice, 3 times, sometimes 4 times as long because you're having to set up the camera angles, make sure your mic's switched on, making sure you're talking to the camera while you're working, and then you have to edit out all the heavy breathing and the huffing and puffing and I'll mess that up. So I had a couple of hours, actually several hours up here last weekend, just clearing the plot. My uncle, who's actually just turned up, was up here with me last Friday and he absolutely flattened the grass with his strimmer. So thank you, Loft. That was absolutely incredible. Such a massive help. So let's have a look and see what we're working with now. So here is the old plot, which is looking very, very different now. It's not under 3 feet of grass. And I suppose there are two big changes. The first is that I cleared a path out. So I spent a good hour weeding and hoeing the path, got hold of some wood chip. I need to get some more because this was not enough. You'll see why in a minute. And I've been laying some thick cardboard down and creating some paths. And then the other big change is just around here, where it was just sort of wasted land and a massive hole that I fell in. And ended up quite hurting myself. So I filled in the hole, covered it over, and I've made a little bit of a compost area. There is black plastic underneath this wood chip. This compost bin, and I'm going to add another one, is going to be specifically for weeds. So things like bindweed that I don't want to put in my main compost because they will root. So I'm going to put it in here, let it rot down, and then put it into the main compost. So I'm not wasting anything. And then behind here, I've got, look at my currants. Still don't know what colour currants these are going to be. But I should probably think about getting some netting on here to keep the birds off. So while we're here, I thought actually it might be a good idea to talk about my plan for the space. So if you've been with me for any amount of time, you'll know that this is what I'm calling the old plot. So this is a half-size plot that I took on in July last year. Built some beds, planted some garlic. I've got some broad beans here, sweet peas, and then that's just an odd bed over there with a broccoli, and I've just whacked some mashed potato squash in there because I didn't have any space anywhere else. So I'm thinking kind of long-term plans. And what I'd like to do, because now I have sort of the plot over there as well, I'd like to turn this into a bit more of a special space, not just another growing space. So I've not really spoken about this very much on the channel, but I'm really passionate about folklore and the healing powers of plants. And so what I was thinking for this space is, because it's quite small, it's quite intimate, and it can be set up in a really cool way, is to make a sort of witchy kind of herb tea healing garden type thing. So I'd grow sort of like herbs and plants for teas, flowers, things like that can be used in sort of lotions and potions. So we're talking like oils, tinctures, skincare, cordials, things like that. I think that would be really fun, and it would really sort of play to that kind of more mystical side of me that I don't really show too much on this channel. Let me know if you're interested in that kind of thing. I'm making a bit of a broad assumption here that most of you are here for the gardening tips and for the sort of kind of garden along with me, what am I growing sort of stuff. But if you are interested in sort of storytelling and in sort of fairy tales, folklore, that sort of thing, with the practical gardening and the practical uses for stuff, will you drop me a comment, let me know, maybe do a little sort of witchy emoji or something so I know what you're talking about, and it might be something that I can bring into my content in the future. So that is the update on the old plot, and then if we go up to the new one without falling into a hole, it's changed up here as well. Ignore this bit. You just had a little sneak peek. I'm not saying I'm building a pond, but I'm also not saying that. You'll have to tune in for the next video. And yeah, so all of this has been trimmed down. We've managed to extend the plastic. So we've covered probably almost a half of the plot with it now, which is great. Peel that back in about July. That's where my sunflowers and my three sisters planting and stuff will go. So the plan today is to sort this bit out, which is going to be bean supports. So I've brought the borlotti beans and the mashed potato squash that I was talking about earlier. I've got canes, I've got pea netting. So let's crack on with that. Now, very annoyingly, my phone overheated and shut down. So I had to put it in the shade for a little while, let it cool down so I could carry on filming. And in that time, we have planted out the borlotti beans, the mashed potato squash, and the cornflowers. It doesn't look it doesn't look very impressive, I'll be honest, because it's a bit of a messy bed. It would probably look more impressive if look at next door there with their teepees. It would probably look more impressive if I had something like that going on. but I unfortunately made a bit of a rookie error and ordered 6-foot canes. So by the time we pushed them into the soil, they were about 5 foot tall, which is not tall enough for borlotti beans. So I need to go back to the drawing board, back to the shop, and get maybe 8 or 10 foot bamboo canes to build my structure. So that's why there's no structure up at the moment. But I'll take a bit of footage next time I do that. Now, I'm pretty sure that this video is getting quite long, so I think I'll wrap it up here. So I hope you've enjoyed spending the week with me in the garden, so in the polytunnel, doing some potting up, a nice little plant tour, and then a tour of my nice new clean and tidy allotment and my plans for the future. So let me know your thoughts. What are your plans for your allotment? Let me know what you think about the witchy garden idea. Tell me about what you're growing at the moment in the comments below. I'd love to see what you're all up to. And of course, it goes without saying, if you enjoyed this video, please drop me a cheeky thumbs up. It really helps the channel out. It helps me get seen by more people. We can continue sharing the wild patch love. And if you aren't already subscribed, if you want to consider joining the channel, it costs you nothing. It shows me that you are enjoying what I'm doing. And again, it helps YouTube push this out further. So it helps me out a lot. But that's it from me today, and I would look forward to seeing you next time. Bye.